right into tonight's, or today's stream, I guess I should say, since we are actually bright and early in the morning here, actually. But at any rate, hello, friends, and welcome back to what is likely going to be our last episode of our run of the Old World Blues mod of Hearts of Iron 4 as the Enclave. I'm your host, as always, TheBlueBadger, and today we are going to pick up right where we left off the last time with this run. For those of you who may have tuned in last time on Dragon Ball Z, we had actually just finished off our war with Caesar's Legion here, and we sort of solidified our gains here, and then also decided to take the initiative and attack the Northwest Brotherhood, as well as the Troll Warrens here. Just a large band of super mutants that were kind of holding up into the area. And now, essentially, our objective here for the next one is to reclaim what's left of America here. Set if it wasn't for the fact that New Victoria actually ended up being captured by Cascadia, I would have actually worked with the Canadians to try and free them. However, since that is no longer possible, we will be annexing all their territory. But at any rate, we are now working towards rebuilding our army after the war here. But we are, in the meantime, going to set up our armies for our next attack here, which I believe is going to be down here, I'm thinking.
Enclave here.
And let me just make sure that we have
This is Enclave main comm.
things good to go.
This is Enclave main comm.
So I want to try and get to as many areas here as possible. There, that should be enough, I'm thinking. Probably be a few days yet set. Obviously, we have the rebuild in Pacific Northwest here in the meantime. And economic resurgence, that's good news. And curious, who are we? Okay, so we are sending couriers to those areas. That's good. So we should be able to annex them outright at some point later down the road. But I'm thinking... Okay, good. So we are... One more thing is that once that's done, I'm likely going to select Masters of the Wasteland so that I essentially get a core on everybody. So, which will be perfect, because that's what I will want, since the sorrows here are kind of in the way. Although, it's a little tempting. I kind of want to attack New Vegas then as well later down the road, so we'll probably attack them at some point as well here. Well, I mean, granted, we're going to have to at some point. But, I know this whole playthrough has been a lot of fun. And eventually, I'll be getting back to this too, because I really want to try this whole run again, especially once the creators of the mod get more content done. Because I know for the next one, they're working on the south here, like this whole region here. But eventually, like once they get like the Washington Wasteland, or Capital Wasteland, I guess is what it's called, the Commonwealth, New York, the Pit, Chicago, all that area, I will definitely be getting back to this mod, because I will want to redo this to try and reclaim literally the whole United States, instead of just half of it, which is what we are unfortunately able to do at this time. And basic power unit. Let's see. What all do we have yet? Chariots. Yeah, let's work on our support weapons here. And economic resurgence in Electric City. Alright, Children of the Sun. This is the United States Radio, bringing the latest news from It appears that Juarez has called for a new assembly and has issued an announcement. For 200 years, Mexico has slumbered beneath a jealous god. We have stood apart, divided, and this has all brought us in sorrow. But Santa Anna has reminded us what Mexico shares in common, or what we share in common. We need not stand resistance. We are the children of the sun. We are Mexicans, and we will be a slave to North. Collapse announced that he will normalize relations with the United States in short order. We are standing by for further developments. Okay. Well, that's interesting. But so be it. But the good news is that they are still allied to us, so it'll be fine. But silent security. It's no secret that the gunrunners' monopoly has caused concern among several caravan companies, small-time owners, and even some within the army. We've recaptured Seattle and likewise sent security main headquarters and production facilities that end today by presidential mandate. At a ribbon-cutting ceremony, the former Dark Brotherhood city, Stent Security, reopened its doors, manufactured several ballistic weapons such as the R-95, along with post-war models for wastelanders on a budget. While it'll take some time to gain large customer base as the gunrunners, the fact that they lacked customer base in the Pacific Northwest and are now forbidden from operating there until 2320 gives the restart up edge in competition. Good for them. And Arctic Systems. Attempting to recreate the success of Lock Reed School out west, the President's administration has likewise set up a similar school out east with former Arctic Systems. Despite the East Coast being nowhere near as civilized or advanced as the West, there has been a surprising number of applicants with both engineering and electrical knowledge, which has made the creation of the school all the easier. Many have even noted the aircraft engineering is simpler than electrical wiring and construction of settlements in the East, something that even our engineers are having issues with grasping. Alright. And more traders from Hawaii are showing up. And since we currently have enough stability, we will then gain a little more with our war support here. Alright. And rebuilding the Northwest. Cascadia or the Northwest Commonwealth? Cascadia or the Northwest? Oh, that is the question being asked by thousands of Americans from San Francisco to Seattle, comprising the northern reaches of California, the former Navarro territories, and Oregon and Washington. The Northwest administration has claimed that there are more important matters to attend in the face of names, cannibalisms, roving super mutants, psychotic raiders, and the remnants of the Washington Brotherhood. For now, the administration was working tirelessly to restore law and order, and large swaths of food are being shipped north. In return, vast technological treasures of Seattle and the commerce of Portland are thoroughly being explored to the benefit of America as a whole. Never a dull moment. And let's see what all we can do in the meantime. We can... There's all that. There should be some... In the meantime, we can send out some more, some power armor. But, maybe we'll just have to wait. In the meantime, let us do Masters of the Wasteland. With the defeat of the Legion, the NCR, and the Washington Brotherhood, it is time to remind everyone that America's original model was join or die. And again, annex war goals on everybody. Alright. Now then. Let's check and see. Actually, yeah, well... I just need to... out here... Oh, here they are. Charles Thorne, north to Alaska, and search for the Purists. What horrors awaited. During our return to Seattle, one of our main priorities were to find those who fled Sierra Army Depot during our Reformation. Whitehall Company, scientists, but most importantly Anderson. We managed to trace their movements north to what we thought was MacArthur Air Force Base, until a freak blizzard diverted them towards Seattle. where they came under the employ of the Washington Brotherhood. The dark foundries of Seattle welcomed all, and when our investigative team started looking into the records, many wished we didn't. The best and brightest were fed to those infernal machines, their brainpower advancing knowledge at the cost of their souls. We don't know how many were fed in there, or what became of them. We can't help but fear that a lot of them might still be alive in there, screaming in pain or shouting to get out. Guess that's the worst fate for a purist this way. And... yeah, burn it all. Dr. Anderson, I presume. Well, it was Dr. Anderson. Granite looked to the bloody, twitching, weathered husk was Anderson. Perhaps it was God above who whipped up the snowstorm and diverted them out of Montana and into Washington. Perhaps it was punishment for the very same God he always invoked that had their party captured by the Washington Brotherhood. It was somewhat ironic that the man was captured by the state and brotherhood that bore the name of the founding father, as if George himself was reaching through time to deliver the worst fate possible. Kept alive by twisted pre-war medical horrors disguised as miracles, his mind was used as a processor for the Washington Brotherhood to continue whatever experiment he was hoping to complete. But while so many others were fed and used, becoming hollowed husks, Anderson had been spared from that fate. Perhaps it was his winning personality that drove the Immortal to deliver special procedures for Anderson to keep him alive. Well, alive might not be the right word. A clinical sense, he was alive, and perhaps somewhere in that gibbering, shaking, drained wreck, Anderson might still be alive. As Granite looked to the creature that was once his rival, there seemed to be some dim recognition in Anderson's eyes. But just that, dim recognition, nothing more. Granite, for his part, shivered. Kill him. Just kill him. Alright. Definitely a brutal fate for the purists, that's for sure. And then as soon as the Masters of the Waste falls ill... Masters of the Waste is done, then we'll start declaring war on the Sorrows here. So that will actually clear up this whole pass that we have to go through here next. Now, nope, nothing else, but we do have more things here. Continue. Alright. Let me actually just get one more thing here, then I'll read this. Alright, the super mutant question. The Troll Warren has given rise to an old conundrum, though obviously we'll execute the war criminals. A super mutant who used to live in Vault 6, Betty, has claimed that she and many others of the other supermutants are victims of circumstance, and they treated humans under their rule no worse than neighboring tribes would have. Betty, based on her vault education, has invoked constitutional claims on behalf of her and the other supermutants and demands a place in the United States. And of course, a captive population of supermutants could have economic applications. Alright. So now... honest labor will make them honest men, or we could do this one. Cute, but no reason to deviate from standard procedures. We'll do the first one, obviously, since we have already integrated super mutants into our society. Stars and Stripes Forever. The men and women who missed the end of the world stumbled out of their suspended animation pods, looking at the oddly short men and women who handed them blankets and soup that tasted almost like chicken. Don't worry, said one of the nurses. It's been a while. But on behalf of the Enclave, let me assure you that the Star-Spangled Banner yet waves over the land of the free and the home of the brave. And you honestly didn't miss much.
Enclave here.
Ah.
This is Enclave main
I forgot that we get those units there. So, yeah, we get a few extra units, obviously. Maybe because of that, I think I'm actually going to cancel production of one of the things, because I know I only had 6 or so being produced somewhere. Or was I mistaken? Oh, wait, I was thinking of this unit right here, just only having 6. In that case... yeah. 5 and 6. Okay, perfect. Now that is done.
Enclave here.
Oh, shit.
This is
I only
Enclave
have
main
5.
com.
Oh, well, whatever. 19's still gonna be good enough for them. Alright. Put you back in command there. What? Masters of the Wastes. Just about... Actually, let's see if there's anything else I can do in the meantime. Anything? Not really. Okay. Although, eventually I'm gonna have to turn south here, I think. Oh, Brotherhood actually managed to push Santa Ana back to the river here. That's good for them. Not entirely sure what river that is, though. We have a lot of ships that are still in repairs here. And Masters of the Waste is now finally done. Perfect. Because now we get essentially cores on everything. And now, as we declare war, we will start going down this one. Brotherhood leadership. Is the Brotherhood of Steel legitimate descendants of the United States Army who went astray, or power-armored criminals with access to some stolen tech? Opinions differ. And as we go through that, we shall start just organizing our areas here. Just
Enclave here.
getting everything taken care of. Alright.
This is Enclave
There's
main
that
com.
one. Here. Oh, they were the ones in the north.
Enclave
I
here.
I had chosen the ones in the south. There.
Enclave here.
And these guys are right there. Yeah, I'll leave them. Actually, it looks like they're... yeah, what the hell. Send everybody. Invalid ideal. Manifest destiny replaced. The prerequisites for government idea meant... okay, whatever.
Enclave here.
But the good news is that we are now done here. Yeah, and this is gonna be a cakewalk here. Alright, and we'll continue on with what's here.
This is Enclave main
Yeah,
com.
they're slowly making their way to
This is Enclave main
capital
com.
here. And come on, boys. We could take Zion. Ah, good. And now we got some other stuff. It reduces naval refit costs, improves naval repair coordination. Ah, Kodiak Base changes name to Joint Base Lewis McCord. Alright. Fort 100 changes name to Fairchild Air Force Base. Nice. Improves amphibious attack capacity. Gives boost to Army Organization and Special Forces cap. And more stuff for naval repairs. Very good.
Enclave here.
And there they go. And we'll just annex them all. Oh! And everything else then went through just fine. Perfect. And we'll repair the next wind turbine. Where's the, Okay. Oh, there's other stuff here too. We'll do this one. Reclaim Seattle, dredge Portland's harbor, and the Hanford atomic reactor. Get both of those up and running. In that case, we will open up the secrets of Vault 24. And couriers to Eagle Rock then while we're at it. Alright. Fruits of our labor. After several months of testing and design, we have managed to miniaturize the Jasper testing system down to what can be carried by a common infantryman. In short, we have relearned Gal's weaponry. While it's going to take us some time to redevelop the weapon system that once carried into battle, this is a massive step forward in regaining our technological edge against our enemies. Nice. So we have Gal's weapons again. Alright. Let me just make sure the power grid's here, just so that we can actually start coring these locations once everything is all said and done. Perfect. For they will be found, scared, and alone. During a sleep of feral ghouls in the Seattle Metro, security team stumbled across the tattered remains of an Enclave unit that had been hiding out down there. They were protecting a series of refugees that had escaped from the Washington Brotherhood. But that wasn't all of them. Leading them was Commander Rebecca Whitehall, who apparently found God and the error of her ways as a purist. In fact, many of the refugees down here, we think, seem to think her and her men as their saviors. While we, of course, send the refugees out to be cared for, that leaves the question of Whitehall. And they can return. They have suffered more than enough. And we'll put them back in command of a unit. So we're the United States, obviously. And let me actually double check and see which of our neighboring areas are coming to. So, the Lord's Anointed, Timberlane, High Chapel, Apostles, and Eagle Rock. Okay. Are we actually allied with New Canaan, or we are not? Okay. Yeah, let's go to war against both, I'm thinking.
Enclave here.
Alright. You there.
Enclave main com.
You there.
Enclave here.
There.
Enclave here.
And you here. We'll go after both of those. And just help secure our flanks here before we move on to other areas. Probably go after the Painted Rock then at some point. Alright. Are we in position, gents? New Jerusalem. Well, that's an interesting name. There's already another new. Why not make a second one? Where are the rest of our things here? There's just so many different locations here. Let me actually put some of these things down. Yeah. Get rid of that one. Probably won't be doing that one for a while. Okay. Okay, here it is. Extending a helping hand. That's the one that I was looking for. Alright. And we'll send them back there just to try and work on them more. Keeping up with the times. Vault 24 was intended as an experiment vault in Project Safe House. However, the residents of the vault seem to have developed a strange fascination with time, so much so that their impressive technological abilities seem almost secondary to this strangeness. When questioned by our troops and representatives, they only answered in cryptic sentences, and when questioned further, only said that we would come to understand it in time. Suffice to say, the officer in charge was ready to annihilate the entire vault, but decided against it. Curiously, when we checked the data logs, our emissaries to the vault appear to have spent far longer time inside the vault than outside. Our techs say it might be an issue of our system's internal chronometers, but for now, we're willing to let Vault 24 become another version of Vault City in the wasteland. What's this doctor they speak of? And the Dark Foundry. We've heard that the Washington Brotherhood worships a Dark Foundry, but as we dig them out of the ruins of Seattle, it appears the truth is more prosaic. A Zax supercomputer survived the war and has been advising the Washington Brotherhood in exchange for resources. Hard to imagine anyone would be dumb enough to follow a supercomputer, but it's picked up a great deal of knowledge and advice about the wasteland. Stay while it tries to solve pie. Let's see. We'll pull the plug on it. With the destruction of the mall, we need to decide what to do with the pirates who made it home. We could scatter them through the waste, but some of the pirates claim they were enraged in aggressive commerce, given the lack of protection for shipping in the region. And we could either imprison the leadership and scatter them through the waste, or use them to revive the United States merchant machine. Actually, that would be good. Give us new abilities on the sea and increase our manpower. I'm gonna do that one. And thankfully, our stability is so damn high, it actually doesn't impact us. President granted, our engineers at the Hanford reactor site have reported ghoul squatters who refuse to leave. The ghouls claim they've maintained the plant since the Great War and demand compensation for repairing the facility. We could force them out, but they could damage the plant on the way out, and their resistance to radiation may be useful. What should we do? And we could either give them some plasma grenades, or give them stock in New Cascadian Energy Company. We'll do that one, actually, since we've accepted ghouls, and the benefits are far more beneficial to our cause. And Brotherhood leadership. Vengeance for Navarro. The Brotherhood is clearly guilty of a range of crimes, including destruction of federal property, theft of federal property, and attacks on members of the United States government. But the trial for Brotherhood could be messy, as some Americans will point out their service raiders as super mutants. And they may try to slander us with false statements about our research at Navarro. Further, given that the Brotherhood is descended from pre-war military, and we never actually did make an effort to cooperate, maybe there are alternatives to solutions, or we could just do a show trial. Building railroads in the Mojave will make them wish for a nuclear winter, and pardon all of those who volunteered for the United States Army. Actually, yeah, we'll do that. Set gives us a couple more commanders. A Paladin's Tale from New Reno. One of the outposts around New Reno was just met by a member of the Brotherhood of Steel, Paladin by the name of Ketz. He says he was commanding the Brotherhood outposts in Utah and has had experience fighting the 80s, ghouls, and worked alongside some contract killer looking for a mercenary headed through Zion. His mission ended, and he was sent west to New Reno by the Midwest Brotherhood of Steel. Please move along. Paladin Ketz will be sent back to the Midwest. And yeah, we're having a bit of an identity crisis. And essentially, yeah, we'll do that one, because it allows him to actually become a member of our team here. And we shall continue down that path here. The Brotherhood soldiers. Even if we don't honor the Brotherhood's history, many of its soldiers would prefer to serve in the U.S. Army rather than serve in a Reconstruction battalion. And we'll do that one too. Alright, and our men are in position. Oh, now we actually have a few more units here, so we'll put them back in command.
Enclave here.
Alright. Have them go there. You here.
This is Enclave main com.
And of course we have those in New Canaan. Head north.
Enclave here.
And you all as well. Alright. Let's declare war on them both. Alright. And then just go forward. So we are pretty much the only ones left in the wastelands here.
Excellent. This is Enclave main com.
And our boys in power armor are easily going to win this fight. Uh-oh. Actually looks like some of their units have
Enclave here.
managed to break through the line here. Get some more units here and update our missile launchers then while we're at it.
This is Enclave main com.
And they're done.
Enclave here. Enclave here.
Alright. There's that one.
Enclave main com.
And we'll get you going here too. And they are done. Annex all them. Alright. And where's the next part here? Because I know we are going to have to send out. Here we go.
This is Enclave main
That
com.
going. And fortunately, now we have all of our armies heading here. And Mexico wants to join in. Alright. Yeah, it looks like our army's gonna just roll right through here now. So honestly, our tanks are slowly becoming the MVP.
Excellent.
Alright. Pause that for a second.
Enclave here.
And the fall of New Canaan. After days of intense fighting, New Canaan has fallen to the United States. Mormon troops bravely defended the settlement until early hours of the morning, falling back to hastily constructed defense line no less than 7 occasions. Once an order to withdraw was given late night following the successful enemy encirclement action, the Mormon defenders of the city refused to acknowledge the order and instead took up highly defensible positions in the center of the settlement. It's only thanks to the heavy ordnance that their last stand was ultimately put down. In the morning light, it was clear that the settlement had been devastated. The United States spared no quarter in quashing resistance to their rule, and the many buildings lie in smoldering ruins, including the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, the Mormons' main place of worship. Yeah, that's unfortunate. And there they go. do they have a fleet? No, they do not. Okay. And we'll annex them too. Alright. And we'll install police force. And we can further restore a few areas here. And we'll work on conforming the Mormon faith here, looks like. Alright. And we can start getting these in here so we can start coring these locations. Alright. Perfect. Now then. Now I'm thinking maybe it's time we start looking towards other areas. Alright. So we need to start looking at the area around Mexico, I'm thinking. Time to give Mexico back to the proper Mexican government. In the Great Crusade. Not everyone welcomes the return of the United States. Montana has largely been overrun by cultists known as Heaven's Gate, and their militant faith is obviously a threatened by a growing power. Their leader seeks to ally with Caesar's Legion, a war against us, a great crusade against atheism and idolatry. The fact that this will discourage Caesar's Legion from attacking Montana doubtless helps, of course. Alright. And Joshua, Graham, and Liz. Although New Canaan has fallen, some of their leaders have survived and made their way to America. Among those most noteworthy is Joshua Graham, one of the Legion's founders. Graham seeks vengeance against the Legion for its treatment of the Mormons, and will carry the fire of the Holy Spirit against our enemies until he stands before the Lord for judgment. I mean, the Legion's already been defeated, but hey, we welcome all new commanders who wish to join our cause. Alright. Now then. And Brotherhood soldiers is done. Alright. And tomorrow's victors. Where the NCR and Brotherhood failed, America will succeed. We are not a fast smile of the America. We are America. And we'll get the next bonus, which is together for victory. Right. Now then. Continue with that. And now let's, as we slowly move our troops back down south, we'll also take care of this one little side regiment here. Alright. Let us actually take care of these here. Yeah, 4 investments. That's not bad.
This is Enclave main com.
Alright. Now I'll put you there, actually. Oh, excuse me. Alright, and damage screening.
This is Enclave main com.
Okay, there's that. Not exactly what I'm looking for, though.
This is Enclave main com.
Essentially. Okay, so it looks like we do have some
This is Enclave main com.
steel.
This is Enclave main com.
Yeah, we'll throw the Brotherhood units in here, too. Why not?
Enclave here.
Alright. And how are we doing on our recruitment? Are we almost done here? Okay, we're getting somewhat close for most. except for the tank divisions. But it looks like we do have... Okay, so we're gonna have to wait a little bit, it looks like. Neural interface is done. Signal transmission. Keep on working on the implants. We wept when we remembered Zion. We may have liberated the people of Utah, but its inhabitants don't seem to act like it. Many associate us with the Enclave purists who aided Kaiser. And before the Great War, the U.S. government cracked down on Mormonism due to their opposition to security protocols. To Mormon eyes, we are occupying a people who have been free since the Great War. As such, new Canaanite guerrillas kill our brave men and women, fanatics who quote the words of Joshua Graham and swear to carry the fire of the Holy Spirit until they stand before the Lord for judgment. Although we promise that the First Amendment protects the Mormon faith, we have to do something to hold this troubled land. And we could promise new Canaanites autonomy from the United States. Completely crack down on them and raise the population. They shall tire before we do, and waging wars for the good of people, bad for the soul. It's not really a... Let's see. And they will tire before we do. Because I am not going to make them a puppet, for they are a proper territory of the United States.
Enclave main com.
Alright, and now we are surrounding the Painted Rock here. And how are we doing on construction here? New Moscow. Well, that's an interesting name. At any rate, they have now returned. And economic resurgence in the Thunderdome. Alright, let's get this done.
Enclave main com.
Them head north.
Enclave main com.
And these guys obviously head there. Okay, let's get this done here then. And we shall... Wait, is... Yeah, I do have a war goal. Why on earth is it, There we go. Okay. Now then. And we'll just overwhelm their position here. Because honestly, this shouldn't take long. Yeah. And nitrogen cooling. Well, get more Tesla cannons. And there they go. And the automatic grenade launcher. Alright. Okay. Is it not gonna go to the, surrender screen? There we go. I guess we overwhelmed them too fast to even register. Suits. Detachment of our militia has found the hideout where the brigands set down to plan their next attack. Well, that's good. Lost some units, but we still able to take them out. Good. Very good. Alright. Now then. Power on and install our forces. What else have we got? Yeah, it doesn't look like anything else, really. Okay, so... when I declare... Actually, maybe I should declare war on them first. Okay, so it looks like it's just those. Well, maybe I should... Yeah. Although... having them there does kind of act as a buffer. Actually, in the meantime, let me actually see if I can't have them navigate the rivers here, just so that we can actually make sure that things stay the way I want them to be. Yeah, that'll do. Yeah, I'll hold off on attacking the Austin
Enclave here.
Republic for now. However, that won't be that way forever.
This is Enclave main comm.
Okay. And we'll stick them there. Essentially, I'm gonna bring everyone down here. We want to secure ourselves before we progress. Regardless of whether they join us or not, the industrial might of the NCR and steel discipline of the Brotherhood has been marshaled behind us. Coupled with massive numbers of California and Nevada, we now can assemble the largest army in the continent. We are not the NCR, we are not the Brotherhood. We are not even the Enclave of old. We are the United States, and this is our country, and we're taking it back. For the soldiers of walks of life across the Colorado at the bands of raiders who would be Romans, Techno-Knights, and the occasional hostile tribe that threaten their great nation. All that their backs is the stars and stripes flying proudly over the land once again. All know that their foe cowers in hovels and shacks, and the thousands of Americans yearn for freedom. God bless the Enclave. No, God bless America. And this is our country, damn it. Okay, now then. Let me take a look at some other things here. Non-human rights. The followers and traders speak of a strange race of sentient raccoons that live in an underground burrow at the edge of Jackal territory. We've accepted everyone else and given them human rights. What's one more race, even if they're not human? Yeah, we'll do that one. Alright. And then once all of our units here are done, which should be in about a month's time in-game, we'll likely then go to war here, help our friends from Mexico reclaim what's left of their territory from these brazen occupiers. Alright. And the good news, too, is that we are just swimming in a bunch of resources, so it shouldn't be a large drain on our manufacturing like last time, because honestly, just look at how much industry I have. Okay. Actually, where's my Air Force now that I think about it? It's that I am gonna need to bring them all down here. And we got some barrage balloons. Actually, bring them as far south as we can, because these are the aircraft that have the shortest distance. But we shall bring them... Where was that large? Right over here. Okay. And our scavengers return triumphant. Well done, boys. So unfortunately, we have a large enough Air Force where we will be able to manage everything just fine. Alright. Here we are. And somehow we don't have our, Oh well. There's that. eastern corridor here as well. And we'll get some other areas here going. Or 300 there. Essentially just want to spam as many jet fighters as I can here. Although in this area, I'm going with bombers instead. So I want to also be able to take out just as many of their... And actually, I think I could pretty much hit... Nope, not everything, but most of it. Okay. I got a little too excited there for a moment. I was thinking I'd be able to bomb every part of the map from that location, but I guess it was a little too early there. And that's as many bombers as I can produce at the moment. Actually, yeah, I should probably boost production of them. More jet fighters here. I pretty much just want as many as I can get at the moment. Okay, and one more here, and then we should be fine. Yeah, we definitely have the largest air force in the waste. Oh, actually, looks like we have too many here. I'll move our bombers to that base there. And actually, come to think of it, let us start putting in various spies in the area here. Because I'm gonna want to get as much information as I can. Speaking of which, oh good, I can become spy master. Missile launcher. Do that. Now, I'll upgrade those. Alright. And just so we can boost our bomber production. And improve our tanks then too while we're at it. Okay. How are we... Can we get any in? Okay, so we now are able to see their industry. Looks like most of the industry belongs to Santa Anna's forces. And they are clearly struggling against the Texas Brotherhood here. Here's my question. And the burrows. We're getting reports out of the interior Nevada of a strange colony of small furry mutants. We dispatched a vertibird for a flyover, and from what the pilot reports, it looks like pre-war raccoons with a mismatch of tribal and ballistic weaponry. Though they didn't shoot at the vertibird, they weren't too happy about it. Ooh, can I get a goonskin hat just like Ben Franklin? But no, we're not going to do that. We're going to do Welcome to the United States of America. Although they've actually already belong to us, so it is what it is. Alright. And let's do... Oh, Kachi's machine. AI, a series of inputs, variable algorithms, and prediction logistics. Some might call it an AI, others a calculator. Interesting. Alright, and we'll do that one. And should be getting close here with this. Yep, 3 more days in-game. So that's good. And this is easily going to be one of the larger wars that we have coming up here. Oh. What unit can be deployed? That hasn't been deployed yet. Oh. Yeah, we'll put them in Roswell. Alright, damage screening's done. I'll do a spare torpedo. Okay, where are all of our special units? 8. Oh yeah, that was for this one.
This is Enclave main com.
Okay. And put you in command there.
Enclave here.
Okay. Got 12 units. And that was for these guys. Alright. Put you back in command there.
Enclave here.
That's the Ad Victorium unit.
Enclave here.
Another 10. That was for you, I remember. Alright. Put you back in command there. Where are the others?
Enclave main com.
Here we are. Ah, yes, I remember these guys. Yeah. Yeah, I remember exactly what I was going to do. These guys, I'm going to actually have them prepare for an amphibious landing operation. So I want them to manage a different area here.
Enclave here.
Alright, where can I... So I'll do Camp Pendleton and wherever the hell this area here is. Okay. And we'll stick these extra units here as well.
Enclave here.
Alright. Stick them here in Los Angeles then for now.
Enclave here.
And we got the band of feral mutants. Or, not ferals, but super mutants here. You've gotten a lot farther than you should have. Alright. But yeah, having those super mutants will be beneficial. And I probably could wait for these tanks. But you know what? I think I'll wait, actually.
This is Enclave main com.
I am gonna have you, gents, go down here. Just have them hold that line. Or help to hold it, I guess I should say.
This is Enclave main com.
Where is this unit located? And I'm gonna have to redeploy them since they have new units that need to be brought to the front.
Enclave here.
And they are here. Okay.
This is Enclave main com.
Alright.
Enclave here.
There's...
Enclave here. Enclave here.
Some...
This is Enclave main com.
Yeah. Gonna have to redeploy this one too. Okay. There. Now everyone's heading to their location. Cascadia declares war on the dredgers. Probably gonna have to take care of them at some point down the road then too.
Enclave here.
Alright. And put them here. And we'll have these guys get a move on. So they are taking too long. Okay, defending Salt Lake. Last line defense of Mormons before Salt Lake when in Canaan. Oh, Provo changed its names to Fort Williams. Okay, I see. So this is just for more areas in Utah. And it improves air efficiency and ace generation, increases division attack factor, improves naval repair and coordination. Colville changes name to Fort Douglas. Very nice. Alright.
Enclave here.
And we'll put a new field marshal in charge here. McNamara in charge of our boys here. And then we'll do the same. Have these units here move out. Okay. Okay. So honestly, I'm kind of considering maybe waiting until the Texan Brotherhood is done. Though on one hand, if I wait too long, then it might be a little more difficult, but fuck it. I'll just proceed with the attack. Okay. And power on all the reactors to core what's left. Ooh. And the Lord's Nudge rejoins the United States, as well as the Apostles, High Chapel, and Timberlane. That's good. Let's see. Are we all in position? Good.
This is Enclave main com.
And hang on one second. Let me actually just make sure that everything is going to plan here. Get that. Marine detachment 2. And some battlefield artillery. Oh, missing equipment. Marine armor. We'll correct that. Well, boost our production of it here. Make it a higher priority on our list. Fortunately, though, we have plenty of scrap to actually get this done. And we'll see how many we can get. Okay, so it looks like that's the maximum we can do at the moment. Alright. Perfect.
Enclave here.
And we'll wait for that to resupply. And actually, may as well just wait a little bit for our tanks to be done. That way we can throw them in the defensive. And holy crap, can McNamara hold a lot of units. Here I was thinking that it was another 5, but no, he can hold damn near 20.
Enclave here.
And coerce AI. Just before the outset of the Great War, the DIA created a predictive analytic machine. Sophisticated AI that was pinnacle of analysis AI. However, Pam was lost in Boston, and it's going to be a while before we get it back. Colonel Callahan, however, has been chasing its predecessor, the poorly named Mass Analytics Terminal. While it's not an AI, the basis of design went on to inspire the Zax computer. And Pam, which is what led to that device to be mothballed, the machine can perform hundreds of calculations a second from battlefield data to encrypted radio broadcasts. Now it's back in the hands of the rightful American government and is ready to once again defend America. Alright. Now then, what else can I do here? And I'll do this. Ashton Air Force Base. The Air Force component of Ashton Hopeful Base Complex, the Ashton AFB maintained command and control of the missiles stored there, as well as early warning systems in the event of an attack. Alright. And we get one more unit here. Oh. Put them in Reynosa. And trying to decide who we should go after next. Kind of thinking maybe Cascadia. Just secure what's left of the West Coast before we eventually move on to whatever's left. Let me just make sure that everything is being covered. Except for some reason, not every state allows us to do that right away. Alright, there. Ash. Well, there goes the Mexican Brotherhood. And who's declaring war on us? Okay, still Mexico's now eyeing up. It changed to declare war. Yeah, now I'm gonna need to secure everything. I was thinking the Brotherhood would be able to last a little longer than they did. Okay. Yeah, let's actually start getting some other units recruited here in the meantime. And we'll get 80. That should do the trick. And we'll have them stand at Cannon Air Force Base. Alright. I have all of our units here. They're slowly getting ready. That war is absolutely coming our way now. That Mexico is taking everything that it needs. Get our power armor ready to go. And actually, 1 second here. Let me check our intel ledger, see what their force looks like. Yeah, we don't have enough intel on that yet, unfortunately. And nor do we really have any idea. Okay. Ashton Air Force Base. The Ashton AFB was the Air Force complex to the component of the Commonwealth Ballistic Defense Complex, tasked with providing testing and launching data for the missiles in the base, as well as maintaining the base in what technically an unstable region. The base remains in better shape than any Army side, largely due to more technical side of the Air Force operations having greater security. Thankfully, no one managed to activate the launch sequence, as that might have caused some problems. The strange underground readings have only gotten worse with more sensors we activate. 1 or 2 malfunctioned is one thing, and some misreadings are to be expected of age. But every last one of them, we even installed new ones, and they're reading the same thing. There is something down here, and it's not Morats. Something burrowing underground beneath what is our nuclear missile base in the region presents a huge security concern. There appears to be a place where these burrowers are closer to the surface than the rest, and it might benefit us to dig down there and find out what exactly is going on. Our engineers have pulled some excavation equipment, but are awaiting orders from higher. Alright. Let us actually proceed with this unit. And come to think of it, I'm actually thinking that perhaps what they're referring to is the area around the divide. Although, it doesn't look like we have actually gotten to that point there yet. Okay. Anyways, let's get back to everything else here. Let's do reform the general staff. Our general staff need to prepare for real wars against real states. Fortunately, the databanks have plenty of records of the last time Americans fought a real war. Which is going to be needed, because we are going to be fighting a real war here very soon. It's going to be a bit, unfortunately, before these units are entirely ready and radioactively confirmed. And spare torpedoes done. Alright. Activate the power relay. And we'll restore our weapons system. And repair the next turbine. Okay. It's going to be a few days yet before we get our new territories in the form of the Apostles. Essentially all these little areas here. Okay. Did by damage. Curious, actually. Are some of our air bases damaged? Yeah, it looks like a few are. Whatever. Doesn't really concern me too much. Okay. Alright, when are our tanks going to be taken care of? Okay. For our general staff. Shit. It's a massacre. The engineering team broke into a series of tunnels before they were attacked by dozens of reptilian mutants that slaughtered them wholesale. Base security responded before they themselves were overrun, as hundreds of these things flooded out of the tunnels we had dug. We would have seen a loss of everyone in the base had they not retreated upon reaching the sunlight. It seems they have an aversion to bright light. The bases have been evacuated with response and emergency units moving in. We are still getting readings from seismic sensors, and it is indicating a lot more movement underneath than before. Yeah, so this is the creatures from the Divide. So, it appears we struck a mutant hornet's nest due to the nature of nuclear weapons stored at the base. Heavy ordnance is ruled out, meaning the only way to get rid of these things is the hard way. Given that they easily wiped out a squad of power infantry, it's not going to be easy to remove them at this time. And, yeah, so our demolitions team will burn them out. And, yeah, don't we have our own mutants for this thing? Center service. We've received a proposal from our liaison from the boroughs. The boroughs appear to have been gripped by patriotic fever, and place openly displayed their newfound love of country. Many of the younger generation, however, have been gripped a bit stronger, and have sent forward a petition to allow service in the U.S. Armed Forces. The proposal of this, of course, was expected to be stopped at lower levels, but several officers are noting that they could make excellent scouts, able to scurry far ahead of our advance and remain undetected by enemy forces, who wouldn't think twice of small furry mammals watching them from a distance. Of course, opening the door to non-human mutants is a can of worms many more traditional thinkers, both in and out of uniform, find to be in poor taste. And I guess their size has an advantage. Alright. And I'm in charge there. And Strategic Air Command. Pre-war, the Air Force operated nuclear bombers around the clock, ready to strike China if needed. Many of these planes never returned during the Great War. We should honor their legacy. And okay, so 16 more days, and then our tanks are done. Hopefully their justifications for war against us are going to take a little while longer yet. So they are just... Okay, so that's not going to be done until May. So yeah, we are easily going to be able to win then. Okay. Assassin City here. Canaan. Hey, Alpha Sunscreen. Glad to hear ya. You got here just in time, because a few things are going on. One, we're preparing for a war against two of the larger Mexican states. And then two, we have creatures from the Divide that are starting to make our way through here. However, our raccoon mutant friends are actually taking care of them for us. So the disaster in the Divide. The situation at the base has only gotten worse. The things emerge at night, and the vertibird flights and security perimeter have barely been able to contain them. What's more is they can easily tunnel through the ground, and our soldiers have given over to calling them tunnelers. During the daylight hours, we're able to send in automated units to scout, and even the mighty sentry bot is taken down by just a handful of these things. Thankfully, they can't fly, and our vertibirds have been providing overwatch. And more are on the way. As of now, the situation is stable. What is not stable was the military staff when Granite put forth his plan to have the Slanter take control of the situation. It wasn't that any of the general staff were prejudiced against the Slanter. It was that the Divide mutants were known to take down a sentry bot with numbers at ease. Even the Slanter called in were a little hesitant after reading the reports. Yet, as the meeting drew, more and more commanders came over the president's side. The Slanter were well adapted to fighting in enclosed environments, and their heightened senses would be an advantage underground. With further push thanks to Granite's ruthless charisma, the decision was made, and all that was left was to gather the strike force. And we shall prepare the might of our Slanter raccoon friends. Alright, and in the meantime, we shall continue with this. Alright, and rapidly discharging ammunition. Do that, because... Oh, and we have a whole bunch of other options here then, too. Do that one's fire. And actually, yeah, let's focus on cybernetics. Put switches. That'll be fine. And 14 days then until we can secure this area here. Get those 4 smaller states under our command. And then, essentially, we're gonna have to do everything else then. At least this way we are slowly getting ready. Could convert to a war economy now. Do have 51%. Don't really need it though, honestly. And we'll do chief of staff here though. That one for sure. Alright. And strategic air command is done. Now then. Yeah, in NORAD. North American Aerospace Defense. Pre-war, the system of our early warning sight against nuclear strikes. Today, it will be repurposed for the common defense of the North American continent against all threats, both sea, air, and land. Actually, was unaware that we had the Cheyenne Mountain area, but I suppose it's somewhere in this area here. And where are our tanks? One more day. Okay, and they're being deployed now. Good.
Enclave here.
And we'll get our tanks here in position. Just have them try and hold the line there. Fortunately, they should do well against the robots. Hopefully. Not entirely sure. And... Unfortunately, I still have this gap here. The last thing anyone would expect. Okay, let's see. The update and divide. Rel Austin had reservations striking up an alliance with the Enclave, but they had been true to their word, and even threatened them as equals. At least in law, it was impossible for every human to see them as anything but mutated raccoons. However, they had done well to the Slanter, and even cured his illness, allowing him to continue living and leading his people. When representatives from the army arrived requesting assistance with the crisis for the South, the old Slanter was confused. He had heard war stories from the Slanter Scout Corps. The Enclave army was one of the most powerful in the world, having tamed all of Nevada and swept aside the NCR like it was nothing. If they had come to him now, it must have been dire. The old Slanter, along with his Scout Corps veterans, listened to the army officers explain the situation and divide. Right now, America needs its smallest members. Wonder what Ulysses thinks of the fact that they are being brought in. And... oh, good. Now we have annexed those locations. Let us actually get things further utilize chemical depot. That's interesting. But good news is that now we have all these areas here. Perfect. I am surprised that the Northern Command hasn't, crap. One of our agents is captured. Alright, we'll have to go and rescue them. And ask Eagle Rock to rejoin the United States. Yeah. You know, for funsies, I might actually just declare war on everyone once we're done with Mexico here. So that honestly, I could very well just do that. Mixed commander ability. Okay. Alright. Just that. And we'll get cyber dogs here then too. So that's still being done. I'm gonna drop a save here quick. Right. Easily getting close, although fortunately, I'm gonna need more units, so I'm gonna have to wait until April, I think. Cheyenne Mountain Complex, NORAD. Our return to Colorado is another stepping stone in the reclamation of America. However, in the mountains outside Colorado Springs lay the cornerstones of our national defense, the North American Aerospace Defense Compound, aka NORAD. It was here that the Air Force watched vigilantly against any would-be Chinese attack and coordinated accordingly. It's also here that we laid the plans for the reclamation of America with the calculator. Now we've returned, and one of the first things we notice is the fact that the door to the facility has been blown off, and there are still remnants of battle between strange robots and the Brotherhood of Steel. We won't know exactly what happened until we get the base back up and running. Alright. And now we can actually restore NORAD here. Or at least start getting things done. We'll start by repairing their front door. Alright. And a meeting of man and mutant. What they were asking was tall order, even for FEV mutants. These tunneler creatures seemed fierce. For his part, Rel Lawson was invited to New Reno to personally meet with President Granite. The first time since the two signed the Unification Treaty, Granite welcomed the old Slanter warmly, giving the Slanter every report he personally had received, and the old Slanter looked over it with some concern. These things, they were basically animals, and packs could take down Deathclaws with ease. Monster of Slanter legend was nothing but an afternoon hunt for the things. He also read the casualty reports and sat back in his chair. Rel Oslin cast his eyes over to the U.S. flag that Granite had in the corner. Several of his own kin had been killed in operations in the past few years. some fighting side by side with the humans who had brought them in. The Earl Austin thought back to the day when he arrived at the Burrows and extended a welcoming hand. He also remembered when the first unit of Scout Corps were sent to war, and the glowing praise that was delivered to him through their actions. Stealing his resolve, he would help the country that had brought him in by welcoming him to their nation. Standing on his chair, mostly to eye level of granite, Rel Austin agreed that the Slender Scout Corps would do everything in their power to assist in defeating this crisis. And that's done. And we'll get the logistics done here then too. And I need to do one other one. Okay. I feel a bit disorganized with everything. And Starlight Express. For the Great War, the Starlight Railway connected the cities to the west coast. It can do so again. Connect everything from Seattle to the Boneyard. And 20mm autocannons. Very nice. Alright. Mass drivers. Yeah, we'll continue on with the next one. Especially since now we have things to contend with. Yeah, we'll just stick it at that. And where are they? Here they are. Okay. Oh, shit. Yeah, we are... Actually, I might be able to just import what I need. I can't take them from them. Okay. Screw it. I'll just do it for now. Besides, our construction is improving the production capability here in certain areas, so hopefully we'll be able to get more of that later on. And the Slanter reached the divide. The first Slanter arrived in the perimeter within hours, delivered by Vertibird. Their small size allowed several dozen to be delivered in just a single Vertibird. While some were recruits, the vast bulk of them were veterans of the Enclave's wars and raider pacification campaigns. Receiving their briefing, the mutated raccoons got to work and making their way towards the base. At the same time, the ground commander, accepting but skeptical of the Slanter, had been working and setting up a series of modified armored vehicles with floodlights to try and reach the breach. The Slanter Major thanked the ground commander before setting off with the rest of his troops. I trust them to get the job done. And we're about halfway through here. Flat.
Enclave here. This is Enclave main com.
Okay, so I have them here. Okay, it looks like we are right. It does look like our composite materials is increasing with more infrastructure is built. Mutant versus mutant. The Center made contact with the tunnelers. First, the mutated humanoids didn't know what to make of the furry FPV raccoons. They observed the little fuzzy creatures with confusion before the Slanter struck. Operating in small unit tactics, the Slanter took down several within the base before the tunnelers finally recognized them as a threat. While the Slanter took some casualties, a mix of their own military tactics and old hunting packs kept them relatively light. Once more, the tunnelers weren't even safe when they tried to dig underground, with the burrowing Slanter following them into their holes and striking them in their own turf. Cyclist centers are picking up what can only be described as small localized explosions, likely the Slanter using grenades and other explosives to try and root the things out. Tenacious little beasts, aren't they? That they are. I do kind of like this whole questline, because it just describes the whole story of how the Slanter go to war against the tunnelers. Do our efforts to rebuild them, and we'll do. I need you for the U.S. Army. Alright. Actually, open markets. Okay. And made into USA. Yeah, I could do that one. Might just wait a little bit, though. What I need, though, is for units to hurry up here. Something happened. During a resupply reinforcing evacuation run, one of our pilots noticed that the center had captured several of the larger brutes and were apparently trying to ride them, the thing like a wild Brahmin at a rodeo. When asked for the reason of this insubordination, the center major calmly replied the troops were taking some initiative and tactics and employing the U.S. Army spirit of innovation. He explained that the tunnelers are no different than any other mutated horrors that they had encountered in the past, and they can be tamed and can be used. He pointed to how the center had tamed giant mole rats in the past as beasts of burden, and these tunnelers were just scaly humanoid versions of them. If they could tame at least a few, they might be able to create a sort of cavalry corps and handle the rest. The ground commander was that the plan was crazy, but crazy enough that it just might work. What? And that's just what I love about it. Just the fact that they end up doing that. And at the end of it, we actually get the ability to have Slanter riding on tunnelers like that. And Starlight Express is done. Alright. And blue. Revealed space. Somehow a pre-war base facility survived time in nuclear war in southwest Arizona. I'm not saying we should launch a rocket into the sky, but we're launching a rocket into the sky. Okay. Okay. In about a month, these units should be ready. Then once they're deployed, then I'm making a preemptive strike against Mexico because I can. And because I want to. Because I, quite frankly, do not really want to have to deal with them later down the road. Alright. Rapidly discharging ammunition is done. And hard T-51 power armor. Okay. And we can get more cybernetic implants here. Good news, though, is that we at least will own the seas once we declare war on Mexico here. Never a dull moment in the divide. The perimeter guards around the base were given over to quite a sight this morning. The Slanter party we sent into the divide came out riding several of the tunnelers with crude riding gear and blinders fashioned around the tunnelers' eyes. They were lined up in formation with the major at the front holding a small Gideon that the group had fashioned. Suffice to say, their human commanders loved the sight, as did the ground commander, who was not shy in singing the praise of the Slanter. In short, the crazy little mutants' plan worked. They had even performed a mock cavalry charge to show they know what they're doing. The press apparently picked up on this, and support for the Slender Cavalry Corps is growing amongst the populace. Raul Lawson has sent his best, well, sent all of his species beast tamers to the base, and they are expected to arrive by vertibird within the hour. And where's my coffee indeed? I have it right here. Ride of the Slanter. With reinforcements, the Slanter's plan is simple. A dedicated thrust towards the breach site and down into the depths of the Tunnelers' hive. From there, the Slanter will capture as many of the Tunnelers as possible, and their beast tamers will get to work breaking these monsters in. The resistance is expected, and the Tunnelers the Slanters have broken in have been armored up and given additional blinders to hide the fact that they were assaulting their own. Their noses have also been plugged in to prevent them from smelling if these things give off pheromones. At dawn, the Center Cavalry Corps rode off towards base. As regular soldiers looked on and cheered, vertibird gunships covered them overhead as the Slanter charged out into the base. Transports carrying the beast tamers followed close behind, ready to deploy at the breach site. First resistance was met halfway between the gate and the breach, and the Slanter's new beasts of burden proved instrumental in defeating their former species. Blind in sight and smell, when they were attacking by their own form of kin, they flew into a rage, slaughtered their unarmored, undomesticated selves. Their Center riders assisted where they could and made rapid progress towards the breach. Arriving at the breach flying V formation, the Center drove into the breach. Beast Tamers and an additional company of Center scouts deployed and ready to assist. However, everything rests on the Major and his troops, and once they're underground, will be unable to support. Godspeed, Center. Alright. And how are we doing on construction? Yeah, we're getting there. Okay. It's actually... Oh, good. We do have a few more jet fighters we can throw in. So, honestly, the more we can throw in, the better, I say. Okay. Actually, let's throw in some gunships, too. Where are they? Oh, yeah, I forgot I had combat blimps. Although, honestly, they're not really needed. Okay. Oh, wow, there's actually quite a bit of range to those. Okay. Heavy cast fighters. Cargo planes. Here we are. Yeah. Eh, what the hell? I'll throw in some of those assault bombers, whatever the hell you want to call them. Alright. Well, they come in groups of 20, it looks like. Alright. They can reach just about every corner of Mexico. That's interesting. Alright. And where's the rest of them here? So essentially, what I'm going to want to do is take out just about every single one of their factories. Okay. And that should be enough. Although, let's get a few more of our bombers. Nuclear bombers here. Or, not nuclear bombers, but heavy bombers, whatever the hell you want to call them. Well, oh, they're jet bombers. Okay. Though eventually I'll get those other ones. I'm not entirely sure why I can't really find any of the nuclear research. I swear I should have had it by now. But whatever. Alright. How are we doing here? Are we almost done? And Gunrunners want lower tariffs. Okay, fine. I'll give them that. And fortunately, we pretty much own the entire area here. That one's done. Let's go. No, there's actually nothing we can do with the cybernetics there. That's interesting. Actually, do I have any of the areas here that allow for fabrication stuff? It does not look like it. Alright, but we'll do composites here. Ah, finally! I think now we have the technology needed for... Let me actually... Oh, crap. I forgot about... Yeah, we'll get that done. And we'll do you. Yeah. And commence when ready. Okay, good. So we have that done. And we'll do that too. By the rocket's red glare. With the liberation of Bloomfield Space Center, we could use one of the pre-war shuttles to send someone into orbit to reactivate Eagle's Eye orbit platform. Some scientists question whether one of the propaganda event is worth doing, but this could also let us reactivate spy satellites the Enclave placed over America before the war. The ghouls and astronaut before the war. Yeah, we'll do that. Alright, President Granite. Several hours ago, our astronaut spaceship crashed into the Pacific Ocean off the Boneyard. Though he is fine, he said he didn't want to talk about what he found on the Eagle Eye, and all records seem to have been wiped. The station itself crashed into Northern California a short while ago, but on the plus side, he did reactivate the other spy satellites. Alright, so that's good news at least. Now then, let's actually just check our research here for a second. Ah, finally! Now I can actually research jet engines and whatnot and get nuclear fighters. Those are the things that I've been waiting for. What? I feel so stupid now. I could have gotten all that done a long time ago, but nope. Whatever. Okay. Let us see what else. Let's do weapons training. Any street kid or farmer knows how to operate a pistol or a brush rifle, but make it Uncle Sam's army, we need to know how to field strip and maintain a laser rifle with every other weapon system in this man's army. Okay. Let's actually see what all we can do with this one here. That's in Seattle. And the Thunderdome. It's Sterling. The Pass. Fuck it. I'm just gonna do as many of them as I can here. Okay. So it's gonna be a little while before I get anything, so may as well just work on all that. So, nothing to report. We hope they're okay. It's been several days and no word from the center underground. Our seismic monitors are picking up activity, so we know they're alive down there. However, what's more interesting is that the reaction of the rest of the country to the little mutants' actions in the divide. The center, while protected under treaty as equals in the United States, that doesn't mean the common citizens see them as equals. Many critics have questioned the purpose and effectiveness of the Center Scout Corps, but more hard-line views lamenting the arming of non-human mutants. The image of Tiny Slanter fighting the Toddlers valiantly, as well as the cavalry charge against Hopeville, silenced them and invigorated a wave of public support for the little creatures. Pictures of the charge are front page of every paper, and the Burrows itself is in a patriotic uproar at the sight of their scouts displayed of gallantly. Granite himself traveled to the Burrows and would meet with Aurel Lawson, personally thanking him for his species' contribution to the military, the nation, and the United States, the people as a whole, of whom and his equals now more than ever. Yet, for all the fanfare, little word has come from the breach, and it is unknown if the center are scattered and being slaughtered or advancing deeper into the hive. And I'm sure they're doing fine, I hope. Alright, and now we can actually get other things. Got jet engines here, and then soon after that we will go into nuclear fighters. Alright. And how are we doing here? And won't be until April 19th, and it's only March 27th. So that's a little unfortunate, but what can you do? Okay. And right here then as well. Okay. But the good news is that the other justification isn't quite there yet. Although, speaking of which, let's see if there's anything I can There, fund the gorillas.
Enclave here.
Now then. I'll actually have these units do a little bit of training. That way they aren't so green once the war finally begins.
Enclave main com.
Alright. And you guys can train a little bit too. Get you all up to speed. Closing the front door. First and foremost was clearing the radiation from the front door and the surrounding area. Task made difficult since right away tends to freeze in cold climates. After clearing that, tearing out the front door was trivial. And we even studied it somewhat to better reinforce it in the future. Putting it in was a simple engineering task that was done within days. Much of it was thanks to the industry of the West Coast, and we were able to ship out, and at last got the door sealed for the first time since it was blasted off, whenever that was. We posted guards around the place that is looking like an actual military facility once more. That said, much of the surrounding area to our most vital installation in central U.S. is menagerie of mutant monster activity, haywire rampaging robots in Colorado Springs, which is starting to recover from when Lenny's terror run through the region. And, well, at least it's been repaired. And our scavengers return triumph once more. Okay, let's continue on with the restoring NORAD. Now we shall restore power to the facility, which should be done in about a day's time. And we'll send out more people with vehicles here. Okay. And now be done. Okay, the fate of the Center. We received word from the Center from the base. 2 messengers rode up from the perimeter this morning, requesting additional reinforcements, supplies, as well as radios to communicate with the surface. The lead messenger, Center Lieutenant, reported that the tunnelers beneath the large and expansive, as the Center are operating in unknown territory and don't know how large the tunnels are. They've established base camp in one of the larger nests, as well as basic aid station, but their supplies are running short. The ground commander sent the request up the chain, and the supplies are on the way. Additionally, an entire battalion has been dispatched from the boroughs, many of whom being veterans of scouts across the army. At the very least, we know our mutant troops are advancing underneath, which is a welcome word that has become a national spectacle. So that's good. Alright, and we are getting close to being done with our deployment. And more war stories from Hawaii. And the chemical depot. Sometime listed as Oregon Forward Depot, pre-war. It's a case of court-martial for General Victor. Yeah, whatever, I'm not going to read that whole thing. But it reduces supply consumption for us, which is grand news. Alright. And I think yes, we did. We annexed Eagle Rock, which is now under control of everyone else. You know what? I'm gonna just take these guys too, just because I can. Plus, it then gives us a way to actually get to our other location here. Alright. Yeah, install police force. And we'll get started on this location here. Alright. Perfect. And the airfield in Eagle Rock will be maintained here then too. However, now it's starting to pick up. Battle rages on below. Seismic activity has slowed the past few days. The Center have been giving status updates stating that they have traveled dozens of miles underneath the base, mapping out an extensive network of tunnels and nests. Recent development from one of the scout teams claims that they have stumbled into a large nest, complete with one of the largest tunnelers they've even seen. The captain in charge of the platoon was forced to retreat given the resistance in numbers, and has even given a description of its size. We agree with their assessment that this thing is the Queen, though we don't know if it's the only one or one of many. The Major has reported that they are preparing to storm the nest along with the best beast tamers, on the plan of capturing this thing alive. The operation is set to commence this evening. Alright. And we'll see how they do. And we have 10 more days here. Then our troops are good to go, and we'll be deployed over here. Yeah, probably set them here. Put 2 in command here, and then another 2 over here, just to kind of hold the line in that area. So that these guys aren't necessarily going to advance, rather just hold the line. Okay. Give them some anti-tank units, actually. That'd be helpful. Alright. And what else can I give them? Yeah, why not? Heavy artillery battery, too. Been a little while since I've... A few more. Although, hopefully we have enough artillery for that. Let's see. Shit. Okay, apparently I don't. So, I will remove that then for now. Okay. So, I am not going to wait that long just to get that thing done. Okay. Now then, now that that's done, we'll do some infantry school. It's not enough to send our infantry to boot camp and dedicate course. We'll teach our soldiers how to be infantry and to chip the bayonet in the next war. Okay. What happened to all of our other spies? I thought we had a bunch of other ones. Oh, are they all dead? No operative being recruited. Okay. Alright. But I'll start decryption there. New dawn over the divide. This morning our troops were greeted with surprise as the victorious center riding out in the base, and with them was a surprising sight. With a bugle call over a veil, the victorious troops of the center rode out in formation, much to the cheers of the troops on the perimeter. What's more, the crazy mutants did it. Tied up between them with 3 beast tamers, keeping it under control was the largest hunter we've ever seen. They also had several more of the creatures tied together in a mass herd. The Slanter Major, a little worse for wear, rode up and saluted the ground commanders and presented him to the Tunnler Queen. The ground commander's report, a joint one with the Slanter Major, is called the operation a huge success and that the base has once more or less been secured. That's just awesome. Alright. And any second now, they should be good to go here. Fortunately, our decision to do the artillery unfortunately delayed the time that we could get them deployed, but fortunately now everything is good to go. And they are deploying right now as we speak. There. Now they're done. Okay. Where do they deploy at? Here they are. Alright. Now then. Just these guys here. And like I said before, just set up a perimeter.
Enclave here.
Alright. And I don't really have a field commander for them, but I'll still throw them in
This
here.
is Enclave main com.
Just have them hold the line.
This is Enclave main com. This is Enclave main com.
And Hopeville restored. Okay. Regular forces moved in long after, support by gunships and the Center with their new tunneler mounts. The Center Major has reported that several sleep and kill teams are still operating underneath the base to look for any remaining tunnelers that still lurk below. Preparations to move the Tunneler Queen off the burrows are being made, as well as further tame the captured tunnelers. Well, with the Center Major opening that the Queen's breeding ability, they could breed a large number of tunnelers for the new Slender Cavalry Corps. While unorthodox, it cannot be understated the effectiveness and speed at which the Center operated in the operation. Recommendations for awards and honors are already being passed by command for review. Despite initial reservations from the generals, even pressing for the use of Slender Corps in operations, cannot be understated that the fact they were instrumental in securing the base from the mutant threat. Alright. So now we should be able to retame the base there. Alright. And let's actually...
Enclave here.
Alright. And get everyone over here. And economic resurgence. Alright, the President and their mutants. Granite paid a visit to the Divide today to personally thank the Center for their actions in Divide. The Center troops stood in formation for the President's pass and review. While many were wounded and their uniforms weren't in the best shape, all showed up to be in formation for the President, and stood tall and proud, even if they did only come up to Granite's knees. After conducting his review, Granite gave an impassioned speech to the formation, saying how the Center had shown themselves as above equals to their humanoid counterparts in the military, and that their contribution these past few days will not be forgotten, but remembered for years to come. Let no one ever speak ill of the Center Scout Corps, or the Center soldiers are not equal to that of human infantry. When your nation called upon you, you answered with spirit and bravery befitting the American soldier, to face certain death only to laugh in its face. Let none forget that you met your abominable foe and not only defeated it, but took command of it as a human would a Brahmin. Today I stand before you, a man before giants, with your actions keeping the finest traditions of the United States military. America will remember that the Slender Corps did here in the Divide. I thank you. Your nation thanks you. May God bless America, and may God bless the Slender. And the birth of the tunnels. The operations are returning to normal base. Seismic activity hasn't picked up anything aside from roaming patrols of the Slender deep underground. Ground Operations Commander has given the all clear. Non-combat personnel are beginning to return. By special presidential decree, Granite has awarded the former Tunneler Hive to be second Slender Borough, and already several families of the borough in Nevada have signed up to move to the Mojave. The tunnels, as they are now called, have become a mix of New Slender City and America's finest military installation, given over to the Slender Corps, as well as the new commissioned Slender Cavalry Corps. The civilian population of the surrounding towns and settlements have returned as well, welcoming the victorious Slenders with open arms for their contributions in securing the Divide. We even notice an additional caravan traffic increase from Slender, increasing trade in the region as well. The former ground commander, now installation commander, has given the all clear and that the base is now secure. Fantastic. And now we get that area once again back, and the birth of the Slender Cavalry Corps. Hello, buddy. How you doing? Yeah. Sweetie. Tactics and techniques that the Center have developed during the fight of the Divide has been solidified into a new doctrine. While the Center have proven invaluable as scouts, their small size often causes them to cover less ground than humans in a vehicle, or even air recon. With their new mounts, the Center were able to cover terrain just as fast as any vehicle. They can even engage in combat against foes thanks to the ferocity of their mounts. Nice. Now we get the Slender Cavalry tech. Alright. Now then. You are such a cuddle bug. I don't blame ya. Yeah. Okay, now then, let us drop a save here, because now comes the time that I've been preparing for, now that we have enough troops for it. It is now time for us to declare war on Mexico. Granted, I could probably wait. Let's see. Tax on core territory. Nah, I'll go and declare war on them, actually. Alright. And we shall... Actually, let's declare war. Oh, which one are we in worse relations with, actually? And they're actually pretty much the same. Although, since they're an AI, Santa Ana here, I think. Wait. So, if I declare war on them, I don't get the potential enemies, but if I declare war on these guys... Well, that's weird. You know what? Let's just see what happens. It's that if I can take care of one without having to deal with the other, that will actually be marvelous. Alright. And we've declared war on them.
Enclave here.
But at any rate, we have succeeded, so now we shall begin the assault.
Enclave here.
Just with these two units for now, but let's see where they go from here. Have them head that way. And we need to make sure that our air power is maintaining proper cohesion. Alright. And we'll put them in command here then as well. And... Alright. Perfect. That'll do. And... Screw it. I'm just gonna have all of our bombers go in, just take care of their stuff here. Okay. Oh, and they have brought in the others. Okay. So now we are at full war with Mexico here.
Excellent!
Okay. And we shall have them move on out here.
Outstanding.
Where's the others? They are right there. Okay. And we'll see how we do this time.
Just dispatched a birdie assault team to your location.
Alright. And we'll have them move that way. And good. Now our Navy's actually starting to make headway in the various areas here. And we should have complete naval superiority since we have all of those other areas. But let's make sure that everything is all good to go. Have every bomber attack military facilities. Every aircraft. Ground support, operations. Alright. Okay. Let me... see the intel ledger. Okay, so it looks like the bulk of their industry is actually in the north here, which is good for us, actually. Okay. So... I'll just have all of our fighters do ground support here, I think. Except for you all. You guys can head over here. Okay, where are the remaining... These bombers are standing by. Alright. Put you in charge there. So, thankfully, since we... all this here, we should be able to take them out. Okay. Set everyone. These airships are still standing by. Have them go here. Actually. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10. I'm gonna split these guys up. Have some of them there. Okay. What other bases are... Okay. Is this one? 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. Is that everything? We still have more bombers. My goodness. I did not realize I had deployed so many. But, honestly, good problem to have. Where to? Have them attack here. And we'll once again prioritize them. Ah, crap. That is not what I wanted. 6. Okay. And then I need the others at there. Essentially just blast every single bits. And where? South Phoenix is where they're at. Okay. Oh, here they are. Yeah, then go here. And have them fight air superiority there. And some barrage balloons. And more fighters in Nogales. Oh, they're over here. Okay. Have them get some ground support. There. Now we have everything going on. And looks like we are actually getting some heavy casualties here.
Enclave main com.
Alright. Let's see. Air Force. Alright. In that case, I'm gonna have these guys help maintain air superiority. So clearly we need something else to take care of these prop planes they've got.
Enclave main com.
Okay. Although it does look like our boys have the advantage on the ground here.
Enclave here.
Especially given the fact that we pretty much dominate the skies, in most areas at least. And their industry's taking a beating too, I imagine. Let's actually check the industry here, see how they're doing. Nothing showing up yet, but I imagine it's taking a little bit of a beating.
Enclave here.
Yep.
Enclave here.
Oh, and the first unit is being taken care of.
Enclave here.
Alright. Have them
Enclave here.
reform with this line here. Is that
Enclave main com.
just need to have them hold that line. And our sentries are certainly doing well. Honestly, once Mexico is dealt with, it'll basically be a cakewalk from here, then we'll be able to beat everything in no time. Still working on that. In that case, work on damage control. Alright. Alright. Looks like we're advancing on most fronts here. Work on getting reconnaissance going.
Enclave here.
Let's actually get our naval invasion ready here, because these guys should be done by now.
Enclave main com.
Yeah, we'll hold that. Alright.
Enclave main com.
Probably gonna have to... Oh, the basement. Another secret of the Enclave is there was a plan to restore the United States without releasing modified virus in the air, one that involved the most advanced robots today, the calculator. However, those plans failed, and now we know why. Evidence from the wreckage and battle near the complex showed the Brotherhood of Steel launched an all-out assault on the complex, bent on destroying the calculator once and for all. Suffice to say, they accomplished just that. Most of the calculator systems are damaged beyond repair, and the code work for wiped from existence. It could take decades to restore everything, and that's if everything worked out in our favor. Thankfully, the nuclear power plant is still functioning, and we've managed to get back online. However, the robots that were once stored here are gone, and likely never to be repurposed. Damn it all to hell. Okay, and we have no units helping there. And we'll switch them from ground to attack. Okay. Well, then switch to air support here. Good news is that most areas here we have distinct advantage in the air.
Enclave here.
We're doing good work to Santa Anna's army here in Texas, at least. You know what? I know these guys don't have commanders, but I'm still going to actually have them attack here as well. Because, honestly, why not? Yeah. Keep them going. May as well.
This is Enclave main com.
Put the major in charge of one of these units here.
Enclave here.
Reaching for the stars. President Granite, there is a security Tron outside your door, and it's got Mr. House's picture on it. Not the cowboy, Mr. House himself. Seems he wants to speak to you about something important. It's in regard to reinstating the Space Administration. And, speak of the devil, and he shall appear. And, well, this is the first. Offer of the century. Mr. President, while I typically loathe working with governments of any kind, you have proven resourceful beyond any of my means. In just a few years, you have done what only the NCR only dreamed of. The Legion failed to realize the Brotherhood could never achieve, and more than I have in 200 years. For that, you have my respect. What I am offering for you is the ground floor opportunity, the most important undertaking on Earth, to shake the bonds of the planet and spread out amongst the stars. What I thought would take 50 years, we can achieve in but a few months. In a few years, we could have a lunar colony. In a decade, a Martian colony. American colony ships reaching for new frontiers. You have Bloomfield, and I have Repcon Aerospace. What I am offering America is the future, a future among the stars. Alright, and we shall do just that. And space mechanic, this fourth wall break here. This is just a test run for the whole space thing as I try to develop further. Score scavenging mechanic, course engineering the future, blah blah blah. Okay, so essentially this is just its fancy way of saying this is still a work in progress. Seems Mr. House has not been idle. Despite losing his rockets at Repcon, he's brought forth designs for Delta X, an upgrade to our pre-war Delta, I want to say 11? I could be wrong. Rocket and ICBM. New model comes with large crew module, better engines, safety features, suite of electronics and systems far outclass its predecessor. Further, it's all buildable quite easy using post-war industrial techniques, which Mr. House lacks, but we do not. We can begin production immediately. Alright. And we'll continue on. Pre-war housing.
This is Enclave main com.
Alright. Yeah.
Enclave here. Enclave here.
Now let's see if we can
Enclave main com.
get these guys ready for a naval invasion, because I do want them to try and break the siege here. Let's have them land around Puerto Vallarta. Honestly, a beautiful part of Mexico. It's that my family actually visited Puerto Vallarta as well as Mazatlan and Cabo while on a West Coast Mexican cruise, and it was just a gorgeous sight and place to be at. So, you ever visit Mexico, definitely recommend those locations, because Cabo, Mazatlan, Puerto Vallarta, such great areas to be. Alright, and we'll stick them here for now. And we'll... yeah. Oh, it looks like I can only launch the 2. Okay, that's good enough. Then we'll cancel that. But at least we can get those ready. Take about 2 months, though, unfortunately. But once we do, we'll be able to open up that second front.
Enclave main com.
It looks like we're just about to cut off a good portion of Santa Anna's robots here. And with our naval dominance here, they won't be going anywhere.
Enclave main com. Enclave here.
Alright.
Outstanding.
Alright. And home of the future. And we got more units that we can throw in. That. Yeah. We absolutely dominate the seas here for sure. Okay. How are we doing on the intelligence front here? Oh yeah, their industries are taking a hit. They have lost well over 100 industries. And the Estados Unidos Mexicanos is taking a bit of a hit too.
Enclave main com.
Alright.
Enclave main
And
com.
jet engines are done. Now to move on to the next best thing. Nuclear engines.
Enclave main com.
Infantry schools. Autopsy on the tunnelers. Given the amount of vast amount of tunnels recovered, we've been able to dissect the things, and biologists have learned a few disturbing facts. First of all, they were at least human once, yet there are no signs of FOV that caused them this biological mutation, meaning this was straight radiation that mutated them. Biologists are baffled, as there have been other instances of underground humans that have slight mutations, but nothing this drastic. Bioluminescence, scales, poison glands in their mouths, and eyes adapted to low-light environments. Whatever situation happened in the Divide during the Great War managed to regress humans they're beyond primate and out of mammalian kingdom into the realm of reptiles. Biologists are still wishing to study them more, especially as the Slanter learned to breed them to continue their cavalry corps. Yeah, that is interesting. Okay. And let's see. And we'll do some specialist training. As heirs to the military-industrial complex, we can train men above the rabble of the Legion or the NCR. Yeah, great. And started to lose ground there, unfortunately. Move some of our units out. Scavengers return triumphant. Good. At least we can bring in the bombers to this area here. Have them start reaching out to Veracruz. Okay. Yeah, at least we're doing a significant amount of damage to their army as they get in close here. Have them shift to entirely air command. Okay, now they're starting to lose a significant amount of air power here. Alright.
Enclave main com.
Alright. Yeah, it looks like they are trying to evacuate. Not gonna go well.
Enclave here.
Alright. Now then, let's move on through here.
Outstanding.
Yeah, looks like they're about to make that breakthrough.
Outstanding.
Anyone I can make as a commander? Okay. Okay. I'll promote him. Just because I need someone here.
Oh, lovely.
Alright. Fortunately, I don't get enough points to actually...
Excellent.
Ah, good. Now we've landed.
Enclave here.
And let's actually see what the reports of the current wars are doing. So essentially, we're in the middle of the Second Mexican War. And making good progress. Alright.
Enclave here.
Alright, and once this area is secure, I'll have these units here then just head back to the other part of the... Okay, now that they are done, help secure up this end of the front.
This is Enclave main com.
Alright. Oh, what units are we missing? Airship. Get that taken care of. just try and get as many as we can. There. That's good enough.
Enclave here.
Now then... Ah, good. Looks like our operations was a success. And get things going over here then, too. And how are we doing on our naval preparations? Not quite ready yet. Okay. We actually lost a few ships here. They're the crappier kinds, so not too much of a loss.
Enclave here.
Alright.
I see.
And we'll have our tanks take out those robots.
Enclave here.
As this army pushes further into the swamps of Louisiana. And the good news is that we have reinforcements coming in here, so that should hopefully slow the advance of the Mexican army here. Get some implants going. This airship, for some reason, does not have priority. Alright. That's done. Have these guys move on to more pressing targets down in this area of Texas here. There we go. Now we're starting to get somewhere.
This is Enclave main comm.
There. Alright. Now that they're done, you go over here and assist with just pushing as far south as we can. Alright. And Kennedy Franklin falls ill. That's unfortunate. And more airships are... Alright. Move on to replicators.
This is Enclave main comm.
Alright. Glory Falls. After hours of street-to-street fighting, the United States has finally taken the majority of Gloria. With heroes on both sides fighting to the bitter end and sheer ferocity fighting, Gloria must be taken. Though resistance still continues throughout the city, the main forces of the Republic have withdrawn. With the city in ruins, one is asking what is the next day for Gloria. Alright.
This is Enclave main comm.
Asbestos lining. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. The Northern Command demands territory. The audacity to demand territory. How should we proceed? Well, what territory are they demanding, first of all? Okay. We'll do the Restore Operations Center here for now. And deploy our teams here. Power armor. Fine. So they want those territories there. Fine. We'll give them those territories for now, but we'll be back. It's that I can't really afford another war at the moment.
This is Enclave main comm.
Although it makes it clear, though, that they unfortunately won't be able to just join us. So.
This is Enclave main comm. Enclave here.
Okay. And defenses are online. Good.
This is Enclave main comm.
And bring in our tanks here to assist in breaking this front. Oh. Now we're actually losing a little bit of stability, it looks like. That's unfortunate, but that won't last forever. Alright, and advanced power plant.
Enclave here.
Alright, and now we're gaining speed through here. How are we doing on our... Yeah, not quite there yet. Okay. Alright. And disciplined soldiers. Unlike some societies, the Enclave trains its soldiers, which is why it takes more than rad scorpions to make them flee the battlefield.
Enclave here. This is Enclave main comm. I see.
Alright. Somehow.
This is Enclave main comm.
Pocket here. That
Enclave
is
here.
not right.
Enclave here.
Let's correct that issue, shall we?
Enclave here. Enclave here.
Those power armor units mop up that
Enclave
mess.
main comm.
Okay. There.
Enclave here. Oh, lovely.
There.
Outstanding.
And now they're going through.
Enclave here.
Alright, let's have these guys try and break the line, as it were. So we do need them to counterattack. Especially now that we've been able to pretty much break them. Hey, Drakond. Hope you're doing well. And welcome to the war here. So that, at the moment, the Enclave is at war with our Mexican foes here. So we are currently trying to defeat Santa Anna's army so that we can give it to the Mexican Reclamation League. So,
Enclave here.
and fortunately, we have the last little bit here to take care of.
Main comm. Enclave here.
Alright.
Excellent.
Alright. let's have them take out this pocket here.
This is Enclave main com.
Alright.
Enclave here. That's annoying.
There. That's going good.
Enclave here. This is Enclave main com. That's annoying.
Alright. And have them go that way.
Outstanding.
And now have them head
Say that again.
there. Alright. Ah, good. Get that going. And where's the remainder of our airships? Actually, have them attack ground forces here.
Enclave here. Enclave here.
Those units are dug in. There. Okay. Let us tighten our perimeter here. Get these guys to that. 3, 4, 5. Yeah. Bring them a little closer to the front lines here. Okay, and yeah, there. And have them help that area too. So unfortunately, our vertibirds are in a good position for it. They're the new American Titans. The backbone of the American Army is power armor. From Anchorage Reclamation to the Battle of Shanghai to the Siege of Navarro, American soldiers have lived, breathed, and died in power armor. In the wasteland, where power armor is at most worn by raider bosses or paladins, it will be Americans who walk the wastes as Titans among all. What the?
This is Enclave
No.
main com.
Don't walk away when they're still...
This is Enclave main com.
Alright. And still needs about 10 days yet.
Enclave here. That's annoying.
Alright.
Enclave here.
Yeah, have them take out that pocket.
This is Enclave main com. Enclave here.
Come on. There we go. So many robots just stuck on these islands here.
This is Enclave main com.
Alright, and economic resurgence. Advanced power systems. Perfect. And let's get these nuclear
Enclave here.
stockpiles activated.
Enclave here.
And back to air power. Nuclear jet fighter. Alright.
Enclave here.
Whatever.
Enclave here. Oh, lovely.
Main operations center. Alright, so now we get to a little bit of details from there. It was here that we were alerted of birds in the air on that fateful October morning in 2077. It was the very command room at 9:17 Eastern Standard Time that confirmed the first nuclear strikes on American soil, destroying much of the West Coast. It was here where we knew the old world had ended. Even as what would become the Enclave rejoiced on the Oil Rig and elsewhere. Here, dozens of Americans and their officers watched helplessly as lights representing American cities flickered and died, and billions of lives were snuffed out in an instant. A few of them are still on their seats, holes in their heads, pistols in their bony grasp. Others lay dead near the door in a desperate attempt to get out and see loved ones once more, but died from radiation from the bombs that struck Colorado Springs. We've been so focused on reclaiming America, so busy returning America to glory, we didn't stop to look at the remains we have been shifting through. It's a bit sobering. There is a story here, somber one, of men and women who watched the world end and could do nothing to stop it. Helpless, as the hubris of the old world ended everything. The ravages of time have made identifying who is who difficult, but we will identify them through duty longs, and we can piece together for their uniforms. We will give them a proper burial and a monument detailing their names. And they watch the world end. And economic resurgence. Alright. And now we're getting around to this left here. Alright.
Enclave here.
Alright. Now then.
This is Enclave main comm.
Let's try and drive out what's left of these pockets of resistance here. At least this one's done.
Enclave here. This is Enclave main comm.
Alright, our troops, yes they are. Okay. Let us try and drive a wedge between them, but it looks like the United Mexican States is actually on its last legs right now. We're actually getting pretty darn close to capital here. Yeah, they're losing a lot of steam here. Which is good, because honestly, it's been one hell of a ride so far. And we're not gonna have enough, but let's just get our boys going. Have them land on the side here so that we can just try and get something else going. Alright.
Outstanding. Enclave here.
Alright.
This is Enclave main comm.
Let's have these guys
This is Enclave main comm.
through here.
This is Enclave main comm. Yeah, you can say that again.
Okay. Get them
Enclave here.
here. Have them head that way.
Enclave
Kind of
here.
micromanage what's left of these units here. Got a few everywhere, actually. Alright, let's keep an eye over here, though, for now. Because it's these units that I want to see if they can actually make it. Okay. are these guys just, sitting here?
Enclave main comm.
Let's get them back under our control here. Asbestos lining.
Enclave main comm.
Alright.
Enclave here.
Alright.
This is Enclave main comm.
And we'll split half of these forces head that way.
Enclave here. This is Enclave main comm.
You head inward.
Enclave here. Enclave here.
And
Enclave here.
there. And oh, Boone falls ill. That's not good. Get well soon, my friend. Because you are going to be needed. Alright.
Enclave here. Yeah. Enclave here. Enclave here.
Alright.
Enclave here.
And
Enclave here.
good. Now we are actually
Enclave here.
getting towards the end.
Enclave here.
Alright, and we'll have them move into the area there.
Enclave here. Enclave here. This is Enclave main comm.
Alright.
Enclave here.
There's that.
This is Enclave main comm.
And they're slowly making their way there. Well, it's taking a lot longer than I would like it to. Alright.
Enclave here.
Put you gents down there. You head this way. As for you, let's stick you over here. And just have them go there.
Enclave here.
Yeah, it looks like they have broken the line here.
This is Enclave main
Ah,
comm.
good. Now our reinforcements are finally getting here twice in 2 lifetimes. Intense and deadly fighting has ended in the jungle capital of Reynosa. The United States forces have cleared out robots and conservative forces from the entrenched positions. Reporters attached to the frontline units stated that living soldiers in Reynosa were being rounded up as prisoners of war, and any remaining holdouts were being dealt with via high explosive and flamer units. In addition, any remaining mechanized forces in the area under command of Generalissimo were being eliminated through dedicated anti-armor teams. Civilians, formerly under Santa Anna's rule, began to cautiously but surely exit their homes, marveling in the absence of omniscient presence of deadly robots patrolling the streets. Although the front in Reynosa is quickly evaporating, the United States intelligence learned that Santa Anna was rallying his army and air force to mount a counterattack and retake the city. By losing his capital has come at a heavy loss, the Generalissimo is not ready to go down without another fight or 10. Alright, how are we doing in the war so far? It's getting close to being over with, it looks like.
Enclave here.
Alright. And now, and compression chambers continue on with advanced circuitry. And we got more units finally hitting the beaches here.
Here.
Alright. Yep, and now it looks like we have full air domination. Focus our efforts down here. 3, 4, 5, 6. Move those ones here. Just help them move along and maintain air superiority. Alright, and we'll stick you here. Alright, and we'll merge those units. And agent captured. That's not good. Alright. We shall hear that and get a unit ready to go. Which one is there? Yeah, and well, just have them come in so we're ready. Hey, our units are finally landing. Good.
This is Enclave main comm. This is Enclave main comm.
There.
Enclave here.
Now, bud, I'm streaming. Honestly. Calls me up. Kyle, I don't know if you're watching this, but I'm in the middle of a stream, buddy. I'll have to call you later.
Enclave here.
Alright, now I can bring McNamara's entire army into the frontier. Yeah, looks like it's heading there first. Okay.
Enclave here.
And we'll have them just try and move out into that area. Alright.
This is Enclave main comm.
And Jack Shadow Churchill has fallen ill. That's not good.
This is Enclave main comm. This is Enclave main comm.
Alright.
Enclave here.
Jesus, everybody's falling ill. Alright.
This is Enclave main comm.
New American Titans. Alright. Rank and file. Powered armor will always be the key to the Enclave, but resources are better spent on arming as many men as possible. How do you plan to maintain divisions of power armor in nuclear wasteland? There's that. Restore the Mountain Air Force Base. Get that done too. And we'll restore NORAD too while we're at it. And we'll arm some batches of mini nukes too.
Enclave here. This is Enclave main comm. Enclave here.
Actually,
Enclave here. Enclave here.
simply because I can.
Enclave here. This is Enclave main comm. Enclave here.
Yeah.
This is Enclave main comm.
Okay. And we'll get this going here. Okay. Good. And now we actually have our units being brought over by ship to get things taken care of on this front.
Enclave main com.
And why are you not moving?
Enclave main com.
Okay. There. That'll do.
Enclave here.
And give me... do this. Get that taken care of.
Enclave main com.
There.
Enclave here.
And we got our reinforcements pouring in. Carving the Mexican ego. Once again, America has beaten Santa Anna. Like a drum, the Paris descended General Slayer. The question arises of what will deal with Mexican territory once occupied. Some Americans have no desire to intervene in Mexican territory, but Lena and her Enclave supporters contend that many of Mexico's resources will do better in American hands. Of course, we could try to hold onto all of Mexico, but it seems like quite the task for a nation that is still struggling to rebuild after 200 years of darkness. Whereas can Mexico work for our friends in the south, but we must rebuild our own country, not theirs. Okay. Delaware Corporation. Nah. We'll give it to our allies then, once it's done. And we finally got nuclear jet fighters, and the United States and Mexico has capitulated. Perfect. Alright. And right as we get nuclear jet fighters. Alright. And we'll do that one next. Nuclear jet bombers. Alright. Alright, now we'll have them just expand out everywhere. How many more do we have to take out, though? Alright, changing the guard. It was a light, snowy day at Colorado Springs, despite forecasts in the contrary. Regardless, almost as if the heavens were weeping, in the center of Reclaimed Park stood a newly built monument, a single black obsidian obelisk on the side. Dozens of names were engraved. Those who were on duty at NORAD on the 23rd of October, 2077. Those who watched the world end in nuclear fire. Those who never made it out of the facility alive. Those whose remains were uncovered, identified, and entombed beneath the obelisk. President Grant had stood before the monument. Around the president stood a few military personnel and the new staff of restored NORAD, of whom would soon begin work protecting America's skies once more. A crowd had also gathered to watch the ceremony through more curiosity than understanding of what the monument represented. The president approached the monument with somber expression and saluted the fallen airmen and officers. Military members followed suit, as well as the crowd of varying degrees. Not a single word was uttered, a moment of silence for those who had died. Alright. And now all of our forces are moving in to their new positions here. Prepare mini nuke for use. Alright. Let's see. Get those going. NORAD's actually almost restored here. That's interesting. Get that going. Should be able to do a movie too, or something like that. I think it might be up here, actually. Not you. Here we go. Sponsor. A patriotic movie. Try to help rebuild some of that stability we've lost.
Excellent!
Okay. And Santana should be getting close to capitulating.
Enclave here.
Eventually. I'm not entirely sure when. NORAD Online. The President today oversaw the resumption of operations of North American Aerospace Defense Complex in Cheyenne Mountain, drew crowded military officials and a few onlookers who happened to be in Colorado Springs area at the time. Lookers. The President thanked the hardworking men and women who managed to get the old base back up and running, as well as reinforcing the point in that the United States is here to protect America, and that was the vital part of the American defense operations in the complex area expected to open up in the coming days. The Air Force is eager to begin operations. And DEFCON is done. Good. And DEFCON system. Readiness condition, or DEFCON, is a matter at which the military will be prepared for combat. Each level gives a series of buffs towards the whole of the military and enforces their capabilities as a fighting force. However, the higher the list goes, the greater social unrest, war support, as well as political power is affected. And then it just goes through the DEFCONs. Okay. Keep it at DEFCON 5. Okay, I'm probably going to step away for a bit. It's been about 3 hours, so I am going to step away for a moment, but we will be coming back here in just a moment here, folks, so just stretch, get a drink of water, but anyways, we will be right back.